and welcome to the Gameplay Cast review for the FPS game Warhammer 40k Boltgun. Boltgun is an FPS game developed by Overwatch Digital and published by Focus Entertainment. The game takes place following the events of the Warhammer 40k Space Marine game on the Forge world Graia. If you've played this game or watched the trailer, you can see that it's a game strongly influenced by the original Doom games. A Warhammer version of Doom, you say? Sign me up. But wait, the question is, should you get yourself a copy? This is an easy one. You absolutely should. The story is pretty light on the ground, but from a 2D FPS game, let's face it, we aren't exactly here for a Shakespearean epic. In the time following the Orc/Chaos invasion, rogue techno-priests found a shard of the late Inquisitor Drogon's power source, and well, started messing with it. A squad of Ultramarines are dispatched by Inquisitor Sabel of the Order Malleus to retrieve said shard. During the descent, the Ultramarine drop pod is badly damaged and crash lands, leaving Malum Kado, the player character, and Ultramarine Sergeant as the sole survivor. Far be it from this to slow an Ultramarine down, Kado will take the fight to the enemy regardless. During the course of his mission, it becomes clear that the forces of Chaos are also aware of the shard and are searching for it themselves. In the name of the Emperor, you must fight your way through the heretic scum and race to get there first. The story sticks to the lore and is enough to get you into the action and convey a good 40k flavour. Not sure if it counts as voice acting, but the taunt button is a stroke of genius. Berating the enemy as you blow them to pieces is awesome.
You cannot stand against the Imperial man!
And the narration at the cutscenes is enough to create the atmosphere and move the plot forward. This is FPS in its purest and most basic form. Spam the taunt button as you send the souls of the heretic scum screaming into the warp with your combination of bolter and chainsword. There's a plethora of weapons available to unlock as you make your way through the levels, and while the game looks basic, don't be deceived, the shooting and general gameplay is far more developed. The chaotic action is butter smooth and your character glides around the battlefield dealing death. And deal death you shall. There are a wide variety of enemies to dispatch, from the demons of the Chaos Gods to the heretic Astartes, Terminators and Cultists, each having their own attack styles and weaponry too. All in all, I was not disappointed as most of the Chaos factions and entities made appearances at some point during the campaign. I think by far the standout feature is the music. It's not quite on par with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, but it's not far away. The rock vibe pairs perfectly with the grim dark and the fast-paced, chaotic FPS action. It ebbs and flows nicely between small random encounters and larger encounters with multiple waves of enemies and bosses. The level designs are pretty good, generally quite maze-like, containing the classic key-based puzzles and hidden secrets galore. Fun is at the heart of this game's mechanics, and the attention to the pixelated details shines through. The innovation here for me is the back-to-basics approach. The studio took an IP and a game style, FPS, and focused purely on marrying the two together using gameplay and music. Graphics were also secondary to everything else, and due to the simplified style, far easier to create and render, so no need for a huge team of artists. This understanding of priorities and laser focus on the core gameplay makes the game incredibly addictive, fast-paced, and fun. Obviously, this is a highly stylized game, and the pixelated nature may not be to everyone's liking. I personally love it. The retro classic vibes mesh with the soundtrack and transport the player back to a purer time in gaming. A time when enthusiasts used their passion to make video games that were purely for fun's sake and nothing more. Players were expected to use their imagination to fill in the gaps between the technical limitations and the gameplay. This seems to be something that the games industry has lost as it goes further and further down the corporate path of ballooning budgets and ridiculously oversized and overworked development cycles. I would argue that the simplicity of the pixelated graphics allowed the developer to focus on the gameplay, and in a better world we would be inundated with games of this price point and quality.
Heresy grows from idleness.
Unfortunately, the game suffers from the standard setbacks associated with this type of 2D FPS. The story narrative is limited to a few text-based cutscenes that, to be fair, are at least voiced. The lack of a minimap is occasionally frustrating as you find yourself running in circles looking for a key, and then run around in circles again, trying to find the door you found previously to use it on. In terms of the core gameplay, the melee attack with the chainsword can be a bit unwieldy at times, and often simply seems to result in you taking a lot of damage. If playing on Exterminatus, it pays to shoot and not slash foes. Moreover, the AI is basic, and as such, on open sections of the game, it's very easy to get to a vantage point and simply wipe out all foes at range. Even on the hardest difficulty, they will struggle to accurately return fire. Finally, on a personal note, and this applies to OG Doom as well, I'm not a massive fan of the secrets hidden behind generic pieces of wall. It makes me run around all the time checking random bits of wall on the odd chance there's a secret hidden behind it. I'd rather be focused on playing the game. I think the style of minimap used in Doom 2016, a low-res pixelated version in this case, would have been perfect to indicate when you were close to a secret. Basically, a minimap with Fog of War and some way to signify when secrets were close would have been a very welcome addition. As would a bit more tuning on the melee side. Revving the chainsaw is cool and all, but it's very easy to miss the mark at point blank, which is surely the point of melee weapons, right? I know I just talked about issues I had with the game, and while I think they are all valid, particularly the argument for a minimap, they aren't massive detractors from the game's core of manic FPS action. When the music picks up and the hordes of Plague Toads and Chaos Space Marines teleport in, the fun begins. Yes, the story is Billy Basic, there's no RPG or leveling, and its pixelated style is comic book-like, but that is the brilliance of this game. It's FPS purity, styled and flavoured with Warhammer 40k, all brought together by a crazy rock soundtrack. Is it nostalgic? Yes. But is it more than a nostalgia trip? Hell yes. This is a great game in its own right, and better yet, it's reasonably priced, giving you around 8 to 15 hours of entertainment for £19, that's about $25. I award Warhammer 40k Boltgun a well-earned 8 out of 10. For me, the industry should be full to the brim of games of this calibre. Games made for fun's sake, to play for the hell of it, and not in the relentless pursuit of the next gaming trend or corporately decreed iteration. In an age where Sony and the like think it's okay to charge customers £70 for games with less playtime, or kids mindlessly play Fortnite over and over again, more developers need to build from their own passion and adopt a build it and they will come mantra. I'd rather buy 3 games the length and quality of Boltgun than most AAA titles these days. Finally, this is a must if you're a Warhammer 40k fan, or even if you just like a fast-paced, hectic FPS, Boltgun is for you. Buy Boltgun, it's a great game. If you want to check out Warhammer 40k Boltgun following this review, it's available on current gen consoles and PC. This concludes the Gameplaycast's review of the FPS game Warhammer 40k Boltgun. I've been Tim from Gameplaycasts, you've been awesome, and all that's left for me to say is peace out and thanks for watching.